Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the game week 34. Almost forgot what week we're in then. 34 deadline stream. Only 4 weeks left after this. My free hit is active. I've got to get it locked in. No, this is not my final draft. No, I'm not definitely certain on Semedo. No, I might go Murphy. I might go Barnes. I might go Gordon. I probably won't go Danny Welbeck. Yes, I think that player you want to go for on free hit is a good pick. There we go. Stream over. Job done. I think that covers everything. Trent, yeah, sure. Trent's a good pick. Cucurella's a good pick. Sessegnon's a good pick. Livramento's a good pick. Sanchez is a good pick. Leno's a good pick. Robinson's a good pick. Murphy's a good pick. Mbeumo's a good pick. Kluivert's a good pick. Welbeck's a good pick. Chris Wood, actually not so sure about because he's playing on Thursday and he might get injured in the FA Cup. But yeah, Bowen, I probably wouldn't go Bowen. Newcastle will concede. Honestly, I was thinking this last night. It doesn't matter. Oh, what's happened with the price changes? Why is that messed up? Okay, that's absolutely broken. Let me just do. Oh, hang on. Let me just fix that a sec. Get rid of this as well. Okay, we'll have to just leave it at that. Yeah, it's broken. I don't know why. What was I saying? Oh yeah, that Newcastle will concede, right? I find it so funny. It doesn't matter what team you put out, which players you back. Someone will always go, yeah, but what if that player concedes? Like Newcastle fighting for top 2. Right? There's a chance. I don't think they will get top 2. I think it'll be Arsenal or Liverpool, obviously. But we've got a team fighting for top 3, top 2, against a team that's getting relegated. And there's still people that say, yeah, Ipswich are going to score. They might score. Of course they could score, right? You could say they could, but like the reality is there's a very strong chance of a Newcastle clean sheet. You know what I'm saying? Am I beyond help? Probably. I did not plan. And I only have Livramento and Isak playing and no chips. Oh my day. Okay. There's no way I can sugarcoat it. You are kind of screwed, yeah. I won't lie. The other issue you've got this week is there's not a lot of the players that are good on free hit are not necessarily that great long term. Like if you buy loads of Wolves players, they've got Man City away next week, for example. Honestly, I would take some hits and I would target Brentford and probably Forest players, which is also weird because they're playing each other, but they're good longer term. Who else? Cole Palmer, maybe. Yeah, you're kind of screwed. I would take some hits. I would just, every time you're looking to buy a player, just check what fixture they got next week, I would say. Bournemouth are probably quite good to buy as well, although they play Arsenal away next week, so it's not even that great. Do we hate Sessegnon now? I don't hate any player. Any embargoed quotes from Wolves? Not 100% sure on Cunha. Just that I can't remember the exact wording, but basically that he thinks Cunha can help the team for the rest of the season. So basically something similar to what he said about Bellegarde. I think Cunha will start. Is there some risk for the rest of the season? Probably. This week I think the risk is a little bit lessened. My brother forgot to hit free hit last year in game week 29 and survived with just Areola. Yeah, but don't factor in what happened last year to this year. I'd be very surprised if we get a similar situation with free hit this year. But yeah, it sucks. Like if you've only got a couple of players playing, but I just hits are going to have to happen, right? You're just going to have to hope for the best and hope it works out. Ask Mark Sutherland what to do if you have no chips left. Doesn't he have his bench boost, though? Wasn't that what he was trying to play? Love the Semedo and Trippier picks. Absolutely no point Andy playing a template free hit team. Yeah, I mean, Trippier... I mean, any Newcastle defender is kind of template because any non-free hitter has a Newcastle defender. Everyone free hitting will probably have at least one, maybe two. So, I don't think... Like, Trippier is a differential compared to Livramento, but Newcastle defence is not a differential in itself, if that makes sense. Semedo, I don't know. Someone basically said yesterday that, like, Semedo and Aït-Nouri, you've got the two wing-backs up against Leicester, and I've been hyper-fixated on it ever since. I don't mind doubling up on the defence. I'm actually double-double. I'm double Newcastle, double Wolves. But now I'm thinking, have I just got tunnel vision on Semedo, right? Should I just be picking Sessegnon, Trent, Cucurella, who are probably as good, if not slightly more attacking? Maybe. By the way, I'm... Oh, God, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm very tempted to get Jacob Murphy. I want a Newcastle attacker that's not Isak would really help me because I would do Kluivert to Barnes, Gordon, or Murphy, and then I would do Trippier to Sessegnon. I kind of want Sessegnon. Like, I keep going back and forth on it, right? Because you'll always have a couple of different types of people that are free hitting. So some people will look at Sessegnon and think, how can you turn that down? You've got a defender playing right wing against Southampton who will probably start. How can you turn it down? Even if it goes wrong, so be it. And that's fine. I get that line of thinking. But so often, just going for the boring players that are definitely going to start works out nicely. And I still can't get my head around whether just free hitting is differential enough. There's going to be so many people free hitting this week. Is it enough to climb the ranks where I want to get to? Like, if I just went for safe players, and I don't mean safe in terms of... I don't know what I mean. Like, safe in terms of starts. Let's just say that. Would that be enough to get me into the top 100k? Probably. But I want to aim a bit higher. But also, if I take my own advice, if I go for Sessegnon and Barnes, for example, and neither of them start, then I'm down to 9 players starting. I won't like that. I'll be really frustrated by that. What's my reasoning for no Trent? There's lots of good defenders this week. Like, Trent's fine if you want to go for Trent. You're showing a 1:30 deadline. So I am. Let me just change that a second. There we go, updated. Yeah, Trent's fine. Why Diaz? Because he's playing Spurs. But with Murphy and Strand Larson, nice. I think Strand Larson's good. So much tinkering. I'm currently on this. Tell me how much you hate it. Honestly, can I just give some advice? Save your money this morning. Don't put any super chats in about how much I like your free hit team. Unless you've got a player that's like not playing or something, I will like it. Because there's so many good picks. So Sanchez, Cucurella, double up Chelsea defence, like it. Aït-Nouri, like it. Sessegnon, like the punt. Salah, fine. Barnes, like it if he starts. Murphy should start as well. Double, triple Newcastle, why not? Palmer, good. Larson, good. Isak, good. It's good. Like, can you good? Like, honestly, I do like the fact you've gone double Wolves attack, triple Newcastle. That is differential, I think. Thoughts on Evan Nilsson over Raul Jimenez? I think for me, because Muniz is out, I would back Raul against Southampton over Evan Nilsson. But Evan Nilsson's a good pick. Like, it's gonna be very boring, but I'm gonna be telling you there's lots of players that are good picks. He's playing Man United at home. Like, that's a good fixture. Bench one out of Barnes, Mbeumo, Luis Diaz, and Evan Nilsson. Probably Evan Nilsson out of those. Is free hit one time to choose form over fixtures? No. Which manager should I use? This week, Arne Slot or Eddie Howe, probably the best. I don't know if there's many table bonus games this week. I would assume probably not, right? Like, looking at my free hit team, I don't think any of them are table bonus. Maybe Brentford against Forest. Thomas Frank, possibly. Is that table bonus? I actually don't know if that is either. Let me have a look. Brentford. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Brentford's table bonus. I'd probably just go Slot or Eddie Howe, I think. Welbeck is going under the radar. I've spoken about him a lot this week. His record against West Ham is unbelievable, plus no João Pedro will be on penalties. Yeah, I really like him. It's just who'd you drop? Like, literally, my 3 forwards are playing the 3 teams that are going to get relegated. So like it's difficult to justify Welbeck. If Vita Pereira had come out yesterday and said, yeah, Cunha played well, but Bellegarde's back now, so he's going to have to fight for his place or something like that, then I'd probably drop Cunha for Welbeck. But I think Cunha will start, and he's playing Leicester. So, like, I agree. I think Welbeck's great. Put it this way: if I could play 3-3-4 this week, I would drop Kluivert and play Welbeck. Why no Sessegnon? I've just picked 3 other defenders right now. Like, that's going to be the answer to, like, I've just picked 3 other good defenders as well. Captaincy poll seems kind of pointless because I feel like it's just be heavily Salah, but we can do it. I suspect there will be quite a few Isaks actually. So let's do it. Let's do it. Your Game Week 34 captain. Iwobi or Luis Diaz? Luis Diaz for me, I think. His attacking numbers are better. Like Southampton's probably the better fixture, but Spurs ain't far behind. Will you change your team before deadline? Quite possibly, yeah. Why captain Salah? Why not? He's playing Spurs at home. Any thoughts on Jackson for Chelsea? I don't hate it, but he wouldn't be in my top... Oh, jeez. I need to... Oh, no. For some reason, I've just loaded FPL up on a different page, and it's asking me to log in, which is a bit annoying. In fact, I better refresh this just to make sure. I don't want to get to later on and like try and make a change, and then all of a sudden like it says no, sorry, you're logged out, and then I hit the deadline. I feel like I was answering a question then and I got sidetracked. I can't remember. Official FPL pod had Isak double Salah for captaincy. Really? I find that hard to believe. There's no way Isak will be higher captain than Salah. Will Wolves goalkeeper Bentley start? My assumption will be that Jose Sa will be back in the team. He was back training, so presumably he goes straight back in. I guess there is some doubt there. Why no Trent? Am I worried about minutes? I'm just doubling up on 2 defences instead. I think Trent will start. I mean, I can't be sure he'll make it past 60 minutes. I think he will. Oh, yeah, Nicholas Jackson. I knew I got sidetracked on something. Yeah, in theory, I don't mind him, right? Like, I'm back in Palmer. Why not back Jackson as well? But his minutes have been a little bit... Like, he's not guaranteed to hit 80 minutes. He's not on penalties. I think it's very hard to justify Jackson over Cunha, Isak, Raul Jimenez, even like a Welbeck, maybe even like a Chris Wood. I will say this for people looking at Chris Wood, they do have an FA Cup match to play before they play Brentford. Like, it could go to extra time against Man City. Now, Chris Wood presumably won't play all those minutes. Awani will come on before that happens. Don't Ipswich at least have a goal in them? Sure. Sure, yeah, they could score. I don't know what more you want me to say. They could score a goal. They've scored 33 goals this season. They're the 3rd lowest scoring team in the league. Like if you can't back Newcastle defence against Ipswich, like who can you back? Honestly. Like I think like people have this perception that Ipswich are much better than Leicester and Southampton. They probably are better. I don't know if it's much better, though. And if you look at the underlying numbers, their XG per 90 as a team, Ipswich are not that far ahead of Leicester or Southampton. They're not that great of an attack. And Liam Delap's not even necessarily fit at the moment. So, like, again, could Ipswich score against Newcastle? Yes. But what do you think's more likely to happen? For me, it's the clean sheet. I just don't understand people questioning Newcastle defence at all, to be honest with you. If you wanted to go super differential, would Cunha be a good captain? Yeah. Like, if we're talking super differentials. Basically, if you want to go super differential captaincy, just don't captain Salah or Isak. Like, they will be the top 2. Like, I'm actually quite surprised that it's not a bigger gap in the poll. Like, Isak's 30%, Salah 61%. What's the rationale between doubling up on defence when you have so many good defenders to choose from? I don't really... What's wrong with doubling up on defences? Like, they're also good options, right? Like, if I think Trippier is a good option, like, so's Pope. If Aitner is a good option... Like, I was thinking about this morning because I knew this question was going to come in. Yes, Ain't Nuri's quite attacking, which is part of the reason people have got him. But a big reason we've got him is also for clean sheet potential, right? Like, if he was playing Liverpool away this week, he wouldn't be in our free hit team. So you think there's a good chance for Ain't Nuri to get a clean sheet. Therefore, Semedo also has the same chance. Your game week points ticker is not updated. Damn, I'm really off it this morning. Now, you could just hedge your bets, right, and go for 4 defenders from different teams. That's absolutely fine. There are a lot of good defenders this week, but they're all just close calls. But I might not go for double Wolves. I might not go for double Newcastle. I might end up on something like Pope, Ain't Nuri, Sessegnon, Cucurella or something like that. But I would need to go for a Newcastle attacker for that. I'm trying to figure out how to just quickly do the points. Yeah, I better update my points because I'm on a freaking red arrow. Yeah, let's have a look here. How many measly points did I score last week? 62. Game week rank 4.2 million. Oh my god, it was so bad. So bad. Overall points 2208. And overall ranks now 125k. Disappointing. I'd rather have kept the previous week's numbers, to be honest with you. PNG. Save that. Right, there we go. I quite like the fact that people actually notice that stuff, though, because that means you're actually looking at it, which is always handy to know. What's the early kickoff? Just go to the FPL page. You can see the fixtures. I'm 1 million rank. I think Isak's the best captain. If I captain Isak, I'm wondering if it's worth backing against Salah altogether since he just hurt my rank. I don't hate that, especially at 1 million. I mean, you know the pain it could cause, but I like the thinking. If you go for Murphy, what will your team be like? I would probably just go Sessegnon instead of Trippier. Thoughts on 4-3-3? Only like Palmer, Salah, Newcastle midfielder. I think Diaz is pretty good. Generally, I don't mind 4-3-3. The problem is, Nick gifted 1 membership, by the way. Thank you very much. So, in theory, I quite like 4-3-3. Okay? I could drop Kluivert, who I'm not massively excited about, and go like Ain't Nuri, Trippier, Trent, Sessegnon, something like that, super attacking. But then, then I keep thinking, are all those defenders individually actually better than Kluivert? Probably not. That's what I keep coming back to. Like, there's lots of defenders I want to pick, but when it comes down to that defender versus Kluivert or that defender versus Harvey Barnes, Jacob Murphy, I just don't think they're better. Does that make sense? I think the only reason we're looking at 4-3-3 is because we can't decide on the great defenders to pick, but I don't necessarily think that many of those defenders are better than the 4th midfielder. Does that make any sense? Isn't there more upside to go Sarr, Ain't Nuri, and Livramento and Trippier? Why? I mean, if you're talking about upside, Livramento is very highly owned. And I don't think he's necessarily that much more attacking than Semedo, to be honest with you. Ooh. Yeah, Matoma's fine. Yeah. I mean, Matoma's not on penalties. The minutes should be good. The fixture's good. He's absolutely fine, yeah. If you have 15k, how much risk would you take on a free hit? What are your goals? I can't tell you how much to risk, right? I don't know what your aim is. Are you trying to get into the top 10k, top 5k? Would you like to push for top 1k? The higher up you want to go, the more risk you need to take, I would say. But just keep in mind, right? Risk can backfire. Like, it would not surprise me if the team that scores the most points this week is just 11 guaranteed starters that will all get good minutes. So no Sessegnon, no Trent, no Barnes, no Gordon. It would not surprise me if that's the highest scoring team. Do Saints have more points than the worst in Premier League history yet? I think they're equal. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. When was the last time Trippier got an attack and return? Yeah, Carabao Cup final. I'm not sure before that. Again, like, you can just go and check on the FPL page. Just click on him and have a look back. By the way, Trippier is not that attacking. His underlying attacking numbers are really poor this season. The only reason I've got him instead of Livramento and Burn is because he's lower owned. That's it. I didn't buy Trippier on Wildcard. I won't be looking to buy him after this. It's a 1 week only thing. Instead of double walls defense, why not double attack? But then the problem with that is you've got to pick a second attacker, and if it's not Strand Larsen, it gets a bit tricky, and I don't want Strand Larsen instead of Isak or Raul Jimenez. Trippier got an assist in game week 32. Nice. What was the thinking between Raul versus Welbeck, Southampton, and the fact that Meniz is ruled out, so Raul Jimenez's minutes will be good. If Meniz was a factor, like, there to be subbed on for Raul Jimenez, and I would just go Welbeck. For what it's worth, Vinicius could come on for Raul Jimenez. Like, I wouldn't be a complete surprise if Jimenez still gets subbed early. Oh, I love this. Raul Jimenez doesn't haul. He's only scored more than one goal in a match once this season. He's the guy I'd bet against. Okay, here's some fun facts for you. Cunha. No, wait. Let me just. I need to double check now. I can't remember what I did. Okay, so Chris Wood, right? No, Cunha's only done it once as well. I'm sure that's correct. I had a look the other day because someone else made this same point. They said Raul Jimenez doesn't haul. He only ever scores one goal in a game. Cunha has only got more than one goal in a game once this season. Nobody's questioning him. Chris Wood scored like 1 billion goals this year. He's only done it twice. Isak, best forward in the league, some people would say. He's done it 4 times. So, there you go. Raul Jimenez doesn't haul. Neither does anyone else. Now, I didn't look at assists. I will just say that. I wasn't waiting for that question, but someone said that on a comment the other day. They said Raul Jimenez only scores 1 goal a game, so I thought I'd just go and check some other popular players. 4 times is quite a lot, but think how good Isak is. Like, some people would say he's better than Haaland, right? The best forward in the Premier League, and yet he's only done it 4 times. It doesn't happen as often as you think it happens. Cunha gets bonus for... Yeah, Cunha gets bonus for breathing. I agree, right? But the fact that Raul Jimenez doesn't often score more than 1 goal a game does not matter. He's playing Southampton. Not many players score more than 1 goal a game. Again, on free hit, we're always picturing that like 15 to 20 point haul. The reality is not many of your players will do that this week. Yeah, I'm not saying don't get Cunha. I'm just saying this whole 1 goal a game thing, it's a rubbish argument. How many times has Salah hauled? 1 billion, probably. What happened to your Welbeck story? I don't know what you mean by story. I just picked Raul Jimenez because Meniz got injured. Ultimately, Raul Jimenez is playing Southampton. What more do you want? Your videos this week were high quality as always. That is debatable. But think you were too dismissive Cunha benching. The Wolves fans are all wanting to be benched. Honestly, right? I think he'll start, first of all. Look, the thing with fans is, like, fans are very helpful to chat to, right? We all talk to various fans throughout the seasons to get their opinions on lineups, minutes, and stuff like that. But you've also got to be very careful with fans. Because just because that's what the fans want to happen does not mean that's what the manager will do. You remember when Trent had that really terrible game against Man United? There were plenty of Liverpool fans that thought that Conor Bradley would then be first choice. And what happened after that game? Trent started every single game he was fit for. There's loads of Liverpool fans right now that hate Trent because, and these are probably mostly social media fans, I would expect. But like, there's a lot of people that would tell you they dislike Trent. They don't want to see him in that starting lineup for the rest of the season because he's going to Real Madrid. You know what? He's going to start. He's going to play. So just be careful with fans, I would say. They might be right. I could be wrong. But I think Cunha will start. They might not like that, but I think that's what will happen. Callum, hi. How's it going? Free hit. Pope, Trent, Trippier, Bruno, Gamble. Bruno will start, I think. Palmer, Mohamed Salah, Diaz, Jimenez, Cunha, Isak. Bench, Bentley, Enzo. I don't see the point in going for Bentley on the bench. I would only go Bentley if you've got Sarr, really, because Sarr might start. So you might as well have a second playing goalkeeper. Enzo, Sessegnon, Keane. Oh, nothing in the bank. Fair enough. No, I think that's pretty good. I would go Salah captain, but it depends how much you're chasing. If you're chasing a little bit, Salah. If not, go Isak. But with Trent, Liverpool need to win the league. With Cunha, their team objective has been met. Yeah, look, I don't know what more I can say. Could Cunha get benched? To be fair, when you said I was dismissive, I did acknowledge the fact that Cunha's minutes right now are not as safe as they were earlier on in the season. So I think I think saying that I was dismissive is actually a little bit unfair, which that sounds a bit dramatic the way I've worded that, but like I wasn't completely dismissive. I said Cunha's minutes are not the same as they were, but I still think he'll start. I also said I probably wouldn't go for Cunha if I was on wildcard. I would go for someone like Visser because I think he'll be better to the end of the season. So I would disagree. I don't think I dismissed it at all. I think I acknowledged it. I made a prediction that it'll start this week, and I made a prediction that there'll be other forwards better for the rest of the season. What more can I say? Starting Burmo or Evan Nilsson? Ooh, I'm 25k chasing top 10k. I go Evan Nilsson. And Burma's going to be quite highly owned this week, and rightly so. He's a good pick, but if you're chasing, I go Evan Nilsson. No free hit left, buying a forward and midfielder. Have Salah, Palmer, Murphy, Cliver, Isak, who to buy. Visser, I think, and then Burmo. Fairly straightforward. Yeah, they don't have the greatest fixture this week, but they are going to be playing a Forest team that will have just played FA Cup, and the fixtures are good for the rest of the season. By the way, just to kind of... Okay, so just without leaving this team on screen for a second, right? So the other option is this. Drop Cliver. I kind of want to go for Barnes. I do kind of want to go for Barnes. I know that Murphy's probably the safer option. There's part of me that really wants to go. I don't know. And then I would probably just go Sessegnon. Something like that. I could go for Trippier and Leno. In terms of minutes, that would be better. I really want a second Newcastle attacker. I really do. Because this with midfielders, right? So I want to be clear in what I'm saying. There are lots of good midfielders and there are lots of good defenders, but I'm a bit more excited about the defenders. So, like, instead of Barnes, I could go Cliver, I could go Matoma, I could go for Menezes, I could go for Fernandes, I could go for Mbeumo, but none of them, like, are that exciting. Whereas with the defenders, there's a lot of potentially very attacking ones you could choose this week. That's why I want to go for the Newcastle attacker, because it frees up a spot in defence. The best low-owned Newcastle defender has to be Trippier. Like, Cher is definitely one to be argued about, but the fact that he's a slight doubt means I just wouldn't go there. I wouldn't risk it. So it has to be Trippier. Like, Livramento and Dan Burn are quite highly owned. What are the chances of Barnes coming in from the bench and scoring a brace? Probably unlikely. I don't think braces off the bench happen that often. As you want to climb ranks, don't you risk a differential captain? But you gotta pick your battles, right? I'm not sure going against Salah for Spurs at home is the right battle to take on, to be honest with you. I don't have free hit and I have just one transfer left. Should I do Saka to Clive this week or wait to see which teams will double in 36? I would just get a player this week. I wouldn't worry too much about the doubles in 36. The most likely outcome is that Villa and Man City will double. And like trying to pick a Man City midfielder that will definitely start twice is going to be difficult. Most people will say De Bruyne right now, but that could quickly change. If Aston Villa double, I guess it's Rodgers, but you can't buy him this week anyway. Like, I don't think if there's doubles in 36, unless you've got a free hit left, I don't see people having like 8, like 6. I don't even think many people will have like 6 or 7 doublers. I think they'll have fewer. And if you haven't got a free hit, I would just get a player in this week and not worry about it too much. Do you think it's a good idea to captain Cunha? Not particularly. No. Yeah, I read that one out, yeah. I like the fact you can comment on that, by the way, and ask. Actually, that's super handy. I don't know how you... Yeah, that's actually super handy. Like, if anyone says you missed this super chat, it'd be handy just to respond to it like that. You always write off Forest. Fans get very, like... maybe you're not a Forest fan, I don't know. But they get very frustrated with what I say, even though like, it's purely FPL, nothing else. And when you say I'm writing off Forest, how am I writing off Forest today exactly? Please explain. How do you feel about playing both Strand Larsen and Cunha, and how confident are you in Diaz's minutes? I'm pretty confident Diaz will start. And if he does start, I'm pretty hopeful, not necessarily as confident, that the other attacker will get subbed first. So if it's a Salah, Diaz, Gakpo, I'm pretty sure Gakpo will get subbed off for Jota. If it's Jota, Diaz, Salah, I think Jota will get subbed off. It might not be the case, but I think that's what will likely happen. Who knows? Maybe maybe Liverpool be 3-0 up by the 55th minute. Diaz has got no returns, and Arne Slot wants to get him a standing ovation. He gets subbed off, right? All these things could happen, but I think Diaz will start, so I'm confident enough. Would you start Iwobi over Kluivert? See, this is the thing, right? So Iwobi's got Southampton, but his attacking numbers are worse. He doesn't have penalties. I think I would go Kluivert. Pope or Leno? Pope for sure, like 100%. Which Everton defender, O'Brien or Mikel? I'd go O'Brien, I think. Like, he's playing right back. I guess there is a chance they change it so he plays centre back so they don't have to play Michael Keane, but I think he'll keep going. So yeah, probably O'Brien. That's what I put in the wildcard draft I did yesterday. Murphy, Barnes, Evan Nielsen, Kluivert. I'll start 3. I'd bench Evan Nielsen probably. Isak's EO will be over 100%, so you'll wish him to blank. Yes. No Chris Wood consideration. Not for me, no. If you really want to go different, remove Isak. Yeah, there's going different and there's like going crazy different, right? I don't know if I need to go that far. You didn't answer the Cunha and Strand Larsen question. Watched Cunha and Strand Larsen question. No one is back in Njai versus a shaky chat. No, nobody's doing that. I just spoke about Iwobi. Like, he's fine. He's probably the best midfielder to go for from Fulham, but I think there's better midfielders. If you don't know who will score in a given game week, why are people going with so many minutes risk if it's completely random anyway? Well, it's not random, is it? Like, you don't literally know who will score, but you've got an idea of who's more likely to score, right? Like, if it was completely random, you wouldn't be here. You'd just be throwing darts at a dartboard and just choosing your players that way, right? Makes sense to take a hit to get Kluivert in to get to 11 players. I think Kluivert's quite good for the rest of the season, but it is Arsenal. Bournemouth do have to play Arsenal away and City away still. Am I not concerned about Rao's form? It's horrendous, and he has been getting minutes. He's playing Southampton. I'm a little bit tempted with Jota, but not enough to put him in. How do you feel about playing Cunha and Strand Larsen? Oh, I was like, oh yeah. I think it's fine, but I just don't think Strand Larsen is better than Raul Jimenez or Isak, basically. Your team, if Matoma over Diaz, is it okay? Yes. On wildcard, best long-term pick from Cunha, Wood, Visser. I'd go for Wood or Visser, to be honest. Like, Cunha's better this week, but I think the other two are better afterwards. Alex, 18 months, thank you very much. Why did you decide not to keep Trent? I don't really have a good answer. I just decided to go elsewhere. I just decided to double up on the Wolves defence. I might have Trent by the time we get to the deadline. I don't know if I want 2 minutes risk, like Sessegnon and Trent. And like, one's playing Southampton and right wing. I kind of want to go for him. I don't see me going for Sessegnon and Trent. Probably one or the other. Not completely random, but compare Bowen and Barnes, for example. If you don't know who will score, why not pick the person with 90 minutes? Yeah, I've already talked about this earlier. I said, like, we all talk about risks and, okay, the upside is so big if they start, but the team that will probably score the most points are probably guaranteed starters. So yeah, I'm not that happy with Barnes. I probably won't go with him. I was just showing you what the team would look like if I did. I could go Jacob Murphy maybe. Who the captain, Cole Palmer or Murphy? I would go Murphy between the two, but he is playing first game, so it could ruin your weekend before it's even started. What's the point owning Isak if you want him to blank? Because I think he'll score lots of points. And like, I'm willing to go against certain players, but not ones that like. There's no one close to Isak this week in the forward line. That's the problem. You know, put it this way, right? If Cunha was going to be over 100% effective ownership, then maybe I'll go Welbeck, because I think Cunha's good, but I don't think he's that good where I can't go against him. Isak's just ridiculous this week. Arsenal will be rotating, sure, but I still think it's a tough game away to Arsenal. Any chance of a Palmer benching? The thought has briefly crossed my mind. I hope not. I don't think so. Chelsea need to get Champions League. Coming from a Newcastle sport, can't see Barnes starting today after we got mullered against Villa. But was he the problem, though? He wasn't the problem, right? Anyway, I'm going to change the Barnes pick because I don't think I'll actually start with him. I think I'll bottle it. I think honestly, I've talked about backing against Murphy all week, and there's part of me that just thinks just get him. But I could even end up on something like this. I don't know where I'm going to end up. I'm a mess. Like, oh no, Jesus Christ! I'm not even sure why I've got in Burmo there. I probably want Clivert instead. You see what I'm saying? I'm all over the place. All over the place. Yeah, could end up on something like that. Captain Murphy, no chance. Yeah, you could play Robinson over Sessegnon, absolutely. Definitely more likely to start, right? I'm stuck on who to start, Cunha or Welbeck. I think Cunha is probably the better option, but I do like Welbeck as a differential. Surely to God, on current form, Barnes start. I mean, surely, yeah, unless Gordon does, right? Would you consider benching Palmer and starting in Burmo? No. Not unless we knew Palmer was benched or something like that. He wasn't the problem, but Eddie will use it as an excuse to bring Gordon back in. Yeah, possibly. Like, that's why it's probably worth just dodging both of them. Imagine if he plays both and he drops Murphy. Trippier is 13 to 10 for an attack return. Cucurella is 5 to 1. I'd say Trippier and Sanchez is a better combo. Nice, yeah. Could be. Yeah, but this is the thing. Like, there's lots of Newcastle fans that think that Barnes will start. There's a few others that also think Gordon will start. It's difficult, right? Palmer's data has been pretty terrible though, and he's against a decent Everton defense. Yeah, you don't have to pick Palmer if you don't want to. Sessegnon will start, but can be sub before the 60th minute? Yes, there is risk there. I fully take that on board. I mean, like the other option is just this. Like, if I want to, let's say I only want to take. Oh, hang on. Let's say I only want to take one risk with minutes, and I want it to be Sessegnon. Then the other option is something like this. I don't know why I was thinking about which defender I have to drop. Just like that. Basically. And drop Semedo. Semedo's definitely scoring. He's got 1 goal in 5 seasons, but today is the day he's going to score again. I really don't like the Palmer. Again, honestly, if you don't like the Palmer pick, like it's very simple. Just don't pick him. Honestly, and I mean that. I don't want to sound like very dismissive, but there's lots of people keep saying I don't like the Palmer. Then just don't pick him. Like it's really simple. Welbeck or Jimenez if not on free hit. Ooh. So Jimenez is tricky because he basically said Muniz was out of this game, but then he kind of made it sound like he might not be back soon. He said Muniz is going to be out for the next game. Let's see after that. It's going to be hard to have him back soon. So after this fixture, it's Villa away, Everton at home, Brentford away. And who was the other player you mentioned? Oh, Welbeck. Welbeck is Newcastle at home next week. See, Welbeck will almost certainly start the next 2. Wolves away. I don't know. I think I would go Jimenez and just hope that Muniz is out for a little while, but there is some risk there. Why don't you give enough credit to Bruno? You must be winding me up. You must be You must be winding me up. Why don't I give enough credit to Bruno anymore? I'm not even gonna justify that with an answer. Just tuned in. I have 8 minutes to set up the free hit team. Main dilemma is Elanga versus Palmer. Wood versus Raul Jimenez. Alisson as goalkeeper. Fine. So I can play Newcastle defenders. Also great. Yeah, don't mind that at all. Imagine questioning me about Bruno Fernandes. Am I sure Sessegnon's going to start? No. Thoughts on Bowen? Just not like he'd be quite far down my midfielder choice this week. He's fine, right? He'll definitely play. He'll definitely get 90 minutes. Brighton away is not terrible, but that's about it. Diaz over Jota on free hits. I think Diaz's minutes are much better than Jota, basically. Salah 170 effective ownership. Isak 125. I think Isak might be yeah, you might be right. Maybe slightly higher Isak, possibly. Why have good players on the bench? Could you not create more money for your 11 by choosing the cheapest players for the bench? Yeah, sure, but what do I need money for? No, I don't think Man United will play the under-21. I mean, they probably will play a couple, but I think players like Bruno will come back in. Otherwise, it's just too long with a break. I mean, by the way, I've got this bench, and I still have 3.1 million in the bank. Like, it's not like I'm not stuck for money. I think Menezes will start, yeah. This free hit is hard, so many options. Yeah, sort of. I think for me, like, a lot of players are kind of locked to this. Like, realistically, okay, I could change Pope, but I think the three main players I'm changing are Sessegnon, Trippier, and Kluivert. Yeah, I could put Bruno on the bench instead of Semenyo, maybe. Why not Evan Nielsen? Poor Man United and probably reserve team. I don't think it's going to be the reserve team that everyone thinks, but also my forwards are playing the three teams getting relegated. However bad you think Man United are, and they are bad, they are not Southampton, Ipswich, or Leicester. Kirkes not being met. I've got no injury. Well, Kirkes is a funny one because I think part of the reason I've not thought about him is because he's playing Man United. So I think to myself, well, Man United will probably score. But actually, Man United find it very difficult to score goals. I mean, they did score 5 against Lyon. But yeah, Kirkes is fine. But again, like, let's just say Sessegnon's Robinson. I've got 3 defenders against the relegated teams. I think it's fine. They're kind of as bad as... Look, again, Man United are bad. They're not as bad as Leicester. Come on. I mean, I'm not saying they're necessarily that far off, but let's not be silly now. As differential, Wood versus Bowen. I'd probably go Bowen. I like Chris Wood this week. I think he's a good option, but they do play FA Cup this weekend. So you're running a bit of a risk with Forest players, specifically for 34. Best defence to target after Wolves, Newcastle, Fulham. Why you didn't opt to go for 4 best defenders for goalkeeper and 3 defenders? I'm not sure what you mean. I've picked 4 good defenders. If Trent doubtful, won't Van Dijk, Alisson also be good differentials? Yes. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with Van Dijk. Lots of people actually think that Van Dijk is better than Trent because from set pieces, Spurs not great. Van Dijk's obviously the main man there. Yeah. Like, if you mean why haven't I picked a defender from each of the 4 teams? Well, unless I can convince myself to go for a Newcastle attacker, a second one, then I want double Newcastle defence. Wood will get a hat-trick. Then you should definitely put Chris Wood in your team. Should I captain Isak and on, if you want to, yeah, and on free hit Semenyo or Joe Linton? Semenyo. Watch everyone you almost pick smash it. Yeah, it's going to happen. And the thing is, on free hit, because it's 1 week only, like, you will, like, it's a wild card is often easier to pick than a free hit. I think if I was wild carding this week, I'd find it much easier because it's not just this week; it's also the following weeks as well. So that kind of narrows down your pool of players a little bit. This week, you can literally go for whatever you want because it doesn't matter next week. So you will consider nearly every player. Like, I've considered Kukurea, I've considered Semedo, I've considered Cher, I've considered Sanchez, I've considered Leno, like Mbermo, Bowen, Mitoma, Munetsi, Strand Larson, Welbeck, Chris Wood, Evan Nielsen. Like, they're all on the list. In terms of serious consideration, I'd say I'd say Trent, Semedo, and Kukurea. I think defenders are going to be the killer, really. And obviously Barnes, Gordon, Murphy, I'd love one of them. Well, maybe not Murphy. Jason, how's it going? I'm roughly the same rank as you and trying to catch up in mid-league. Would you be tempted to do Strand Larsen over Raul Jimenez as differential? Yeah, I don't mind it. I prefer just having the penalty taker, though. Barnes and Sessegnon, like it. Obviously, you know there's some risk with Barnes, though. Would you have any of the Newcastle midfielders if super chasing, like Tonali or Bruno? No, if you're going to chase, just get Barnes or Gordon and hope you get the starter. I think Tonali and Bruno, like, they could score, of course they could, but they're not as attacking. I remember last year I picked Gabriel instead of Ben White. I was so annoyed I played it safe. But there'll be plenty of times where, I mean, don't make me bring out the Mane and Son Game Week 38 stories. I've gone this whole season without mentioning them, I think. Don't make me bring them out. Yes, I'm thinking about Murphy. Yeah, I had him in the draft just a minute ago. I'm just a little bit more worried than a lot of people. But people keep asking why not Barnes. I'm a little bit more worried than other people about Gordon. There has to be a chance Gordon starts, like even if it's a small chance. I mean, there is part of me just tempted just to go for Gordon. Like, why not? Because if he starts, he's a massive differential. But obviously, if he doesn't, it's going to suck. But yeah, on free hit, like honestly, people that went Ben White, they got so jammy. Honestly, Ben White like matched Saliba and Gabriel on his own. They scored 26 points between them, and Ben White just went and got 26 points. It's crazy. If you were to have a high upside free hit, okay, so I would go for Welbeck over Cunha because I think he'd be higher owned than Raul Jimenez. I think maybe Sessegnon and Trent. And then maybe a double up on a... I guess you want to back against Newcastle quite a lot, right? So maybe just drop your Newcastle... I think you still go Isak because... I mean, if you want to go super high risk, just drop Isak and all your Newcastle players and just go like Welbeck, Strand Larsen, Raul Jimenez, something like that. And then go like... I don't know, double Wolves defence. Midfielders is tricky. I guess maybe go Barnes or Gordon. But then Barnes has got quite a few transfers in this week. So that probably hasn't helped because I've just rambled a bunch of nonsense there. I think Strand Larsen, Welbeck, and then Cunha or Raul Jimenez probably. Maybe Evan Nielsen if you really want to push it. Palmer signing a contract with Amazon for TV reality show about him. All you need to know about his form. What a disappointment. Yeah. Murphy for captain. I don't like it, to be honest. Sure, if you want to go for it, but it wouldn't be my favourite captain this week. I think if you don't want to go Salah, just go Isak. Which two are the most likely to start from Gordon, Barnes, or Murphy? If I had to guess, I'd say Murphy and Barnes, and that he won't change it, but he could, right? Name two players that will score the most points this game week. Salah and Isak, probably. Best defensive target. Oh, I did that one. I quite like that there are plenty of options in a major blank. Yeah, Game Week 29 last year was horrible. Horrible. Who would take penalties if it's not Welbeck? I'm not actually sure, to be honest. That's why I think it will be Welbeck. Is Barnes the best player in the game if he starts? No, that's still Salah and Isak. I have a really strong feeling Semenyo will score against Man United. Get him in the team. Don't mind that. Actually, what are the transfers in this week? Like, let me just... So for midfielders, I don't think Semenyo is going to be anywhere near the top, right? Like, Kluivert's 115,000. Like, Kluivert's had nearly the same number of transfers in as Elanga and Bruno Fernandes. That's why I quite like him. He's less than Bowen, less than Palmer, less than Diaz. Barnes has had 350k. Oof. 500k for him, but I'm definitely going against him, Burmo. Iwobi's had 300k as well. I'm backing against him for sure. Jacob Murphy's had 250k. He's already super high owned. His ownership's going to be massive. Yeah, Semenyo is a huge differential in midfield. He has had, let me have a look here. He's had 50,000 transfers in, less than Mitoma, Gordon, and Gibbs White. Like Semenyo's had 20,000 more transfers in than Rodgers and Bruno Guimaraes and Trossard, who's not playing. Semenyo is a massive differential. If I decided against Palmer, I'd probably just play Semenyo. Or go like an Mbeumo. Like, there's nothing wrong with picking solid 90-minute penalty takers. Semenyo, yeah, everyone's got a grudge against Semenyo because of how poor he's been for them this season, but I still like him. I had him for a bit. He scored a few goals, I think. Many people outside the FPL Twitter sphere not on free here, hence the likes of Clivert and Burma. No, I'm not trying to say they're bad picks. I'm just trying to get a sense of who's going to have lower ownership. Like, Burma's a great pick, especially if you're not on free hit. Even better, he's still good on free hit. Here's a better question than why did I remove Trent? Who should Trent come in for? I love Semenyo. He's been in my team almost the whole season. Don't say it's been worth it, though. I think Semenyo is a good player. He likes to shoot as well. It's just a shame he doesn't shoot into the box more easily. Into the goal, I mean. So who do you think's got more chance of a clean sheet? Trent against Spurs or Trippier against Ipswich? Trent for Clivert. Yeah, 4-3-3. I don't think I'm going to do it. There's no way I go into... I really think there's almost zero chance I go into this week with... Sorry. There's no way I go into this week with 2 Newcastle players, I don't think. Oh yeah, Trent third bench. I can afford that. I can afford that. Let me put him on the bench. So I might want to put him in my team later. Wishing this would end. Is he better than Semedo though? Questionable. Trent more chance of a clean sheet. No Son for Spurs. Rob T FPL. When can we just call him Rob T? When will we get to the point where everyone just knows who Rob T is? I think everyone already knows. Like, he's in every single FPL video at this point. Sorry. He's put out an updated projections this morning. So Liverpool clean sheet chance. So these are the clean sheet percentages for each team. Chelsea 42%, Newcastle 50%. Oof. Wolves 40%, Liverpool 38%. So Liverpool slightly less than Wolves to get a clean sheet this week. Brighton 32, Fulham 38, so same as Liverpool. Bournemouth 34, and then Forest 28. I mean, obviously there's other teams, but we're not back in like Leicester, Ipswich. Ipswich have got a 5% chance of a clean sheet. So have Spurs. Madness. Luis Diaz is such an overrated pick. Yeah, don't pick him, honestly. I have an awful feeling 8 Nuri will troll us all. Probably. I've not owned him all season, so I'm quite looking forward to it, to be honest. Also, I don't know if people have looked at when the fixtures are, but most of the key free hit team games are at 3 o'clock. I mean, Palmer obviously as well. And sugar. Let me just reset that. Palmer obviously as well, and Cucurella, Sanchez, etc. But a lot of them are at 3 o'clock today. Like, obviously, some people will have Bournemouth, some people might have Bruno, Salah and Diaz tomorrow, of course. A few Woods, a few Mbeumo's, but a lot of it is just today. So you're going to know how good or bad your free hit is today, which I kind of hate. Differential free hitters need 94 points and rival will free hit. Liverpool back 3, nice. Fernandes, Raheem and Strand Larsen captain. Why not? Don't care about overall rank, go for it. Why not? Who do you have to answer to if you have a bad rank this season? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just go for it. Why not? I mean, I'm actually going to have 3 players tomorrow. Maybe 4 if I go for Trent. But still, I think a large majority of it will be decided today. I don't think Jota is... Okay, I don't think you can say Jota is as nailed as Diaz. Right? I don't think there's anything to back up that claim. Also, didn't Jota literally just get benched last week? Yeah. -4 with no goalkeeper, no bench, 9 on pitch is a -8 worth it. If you're buying players that are also going to be good for you longer term, then yes. Definitely. Especially if you haven't got a wild card left. Raul Jimenez has 0 XG in his last 3 games combined. Whew, nightmare. He's actually not that good. Yeah, not good. He was playing Liverpool, Bournemouth, and Chelsea, to be fair. Yeah, not good. Let's hope he does better against Southampton. Have you heard any truth to the rumours that Isak is being rested for Wilson? What's he being rested for? The next game is next week. Eddie Howe will want to have the form 11 he started before he went to hospital, which has to be. But I think Eddie Howe will just pick the team he thinks is the most likely to win the game. I don't think there's any more to it than that, really. Saka or Sarr out for a -4. No more free hit wildcard. Current midfield: Salah, Murphy, and Berman only 10 star. It feels wrong to say Sarr, but Saka could get benched in 35, then has Liverpool away in 36. Now, it will be against a Liverpool team that will have the title wrapped up, but I still think both teams will kind of go for it. I don't think Liverpool will want to lose. I mean, they won't want to lose any games, I get that, but I'd probably sell Saka first. That's what I'll be doing next week, I think, selling Saka before Sarr. Liverpool have better clean sheet odds than Fulham. Should you not have a Trent or Virgil instead of Sessegnon? Yeah, okay. I guess it's worth saying as well. Like, clean sheet odds are important, but you also want like potential attacking returns as well, right? Now, Van Dijk could just be better than Sessegnon. But Sessegnon playing right wing, I find it hard to turn down. Please, keep in mind, I might just change this draft later on. I've got no plan to like change it to a certain team, but I'm like the last 10-20 minutes are going to be lots of changes I can see already. Just a bit of a panic. And then I'll end up like putting in a player and forgetting that I've got only... I'll probably end up somehow on like 2 Newcastle players or something by mistake because I just changed so many players around. Why am I running out of water? I'm not running out of water. Because... Ta-da! I bought up 2 glasses. Da, 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 da. Is Bruno not a viable option this week? I think Bruno's always viable. Maybe not around game week 35, but this week, sure. Like, he's a penalty taker. I think his minutes will be great. But Bournemouth away is not an easy fixture. Can you show your regular team for after game week 34? I mean, I can. Why? I guess is the question. Would you start Diaz or Palmer? Palmer, no free hit. Please rank these in order for the rest of the season. Kluivert, Elanga, Wood, Cunha, and Burma. In Burma by a mile. And then Chris Wood. Then Kluivert, Cunha, Elanga, something like that. Would you take a -4 for Bradley to Sessegnon 8 Nuri? No, not for Sessegnon. 8 Nuri maybe, but Bradley could start. I can't guarantee a Trent start. I think Trent will start, but I can't guarantee it. Start 2, Kluivert, Iwobi, or Welbeck. Welbeck and Kluivert, I think. I'm just getting my team up for next week. Kluivert definitely on penalties since Evan Nielsen came back. There was one game where Evan Nielsen won 3 penalties and Kluivert took all of them. So, oh, hang on a second. This is wrong. Is there a shout for not going Luis Diaz and going Matoma? Yes. I think Matoma's a good pick. I think... what am I trying to say? I think West Ham at home is a really good fixture. So sure. Okay, so my team looks... Hang on, let me just move the chat over here. Move this over. It's not going to show up that well because I've not got it set up properly. But the team is... something like this. Minoz in for sure. And then Marmouche for Evan Nielsen. So this is my team for next week. Oh no, I'll probably play Raya. Well, probably Raya over Martinez, yeah. So Raya, Saliba double up, Munoz against Forest at home, Vardell against Wolves at home, Rodgers Fulham at home, Salah Chelsea. I don't know if I will captain Salah, but we'll see. Eze and Sarr against Forest at home, Saka Bournemouth at home, Marmouche Wolves at home, Isak Brighton away. Yeah, that's it. Not that interesting. I actually don't mind it. I think that team looks pretty good. I will probably do Saka to Mbeumo because I think Saka's going to get benched and then he's going to play Liverpool away. He does have Newcastle at home, Southampton away after that, so I'm not completely happy about it. But yeah, Mbeumo will probably come in, and that'll be it. Anyway, I'm sure that wasn't that interesting. Why is no one talking about Gibbs White? I had Gibbs White on my wildcard 34 draft. What are you talking about? Is Cunha definitely on penalties? Flapjack, shout out to Flapjack, did put slight doubts in my mind about Cunha penalties. Did you know Cunha's only taken 2 penalties in the last 4 seasons? And the last one he took for Wolves, Sarabia was not on the pitch. He actually got subbed 10 minutes before. So if Sarabia is on the pitch, he could take a penalty ahead of Cunha. But I think Cunha will take ahead of Strand Larsen. But who knows? Cunha hasn't taken a huge amount of penalties. Menetzi took a penalty back in the 2016-17 season. He scored, but he also took one the same season and missed, so he's only got a 50% record. Yeah, and also Wolves don't get penalties, so who cares? I got no. I don't think you can guarantee Jota starts. I think Diaz is better minutes. Do your mates think you are funny? Probably not. Probably not. Maybe. I think I'm funnier than them. That makes sense. I doubt any of them are watching. I'll load WhatsApp at now because if they are watching, that'll get put straight into the group chat. Double walls attack or defense. I prefer double defense only because if you go for Strand Larsen, you got to drop an Isak or Raul Jimenez. You could argue that actually Strand Larsen, Cunha, Isak, and not going double defense is better, but they are playing Leicester. Confident about Sessegnon's minutes? Not like massively. I do think he'll start, but Harry Wilson's a big worry. Like a big worry. Alisson to cover Liverpool defence and not risk it on Trent. I wouldn't worry about covering Liverpool defence. Like if you don't go Trent, it doesn't mean you have to go Alisson. Do you make stream snipe your team? No, definitely not. Why not replace Semedo with Strand Larsen and play him instead of Raul Jimenez? Because I think Raul Jimenez is better. You're not in a group chat, don't be silly. I'm not in many group chats. I do my best to like avoid group chats. Like I'm not in any FPL ones at all. Because like the thing that annoys me about them is you mute them, but they still show you a notification. Does my head in. I'm not in any group chats on Twitter, and like as little as I can be on WhatsApp and Facebook. I don't get your hype about Raul Jimenez. I feel like Matoma Bowen and a couple of other guys are better than him, even with Southampton. Then you know what to do, right? Put those players in instead. For me, I just like a penalty taken forward against Southampton. Yeah, Discord, of course, but that's I think that's slightly different. Do you drink water when you're nervous? Maybe. I'm definitely not drinking water now because I'm nervous. I'm just drinking it because it's good to keep hydrated when you're chatting so much. There's no content creator cartel group chat. There might be, but I'm not in it. I've been asked to go in like a few group chats over the years, but I just always say no. For the most part. Why not Cunha as captain? Because I don't think he's better than Salah or Isak. Was Robertson injured his recent minutes? I just think Robertson... I don't think he was injured. I just think he's a little bit of a risk. I wouldn't be looking at him. You're either going Van Dijk or Trent. John, thank you. Chances of Sessegnon starting even with Harry Wilson in the 11, very low. Very low, I would say. Team is Pope, 8 Nuri, Trippier, Trent, Palmer, Burmo, Salah, Diaz, Welbeck, Isak, Jimenez, bench, Leno, Kluivert, James. Looks good. Yeah, I like the Welbeck shout over Cunha. I wish I could brave it myself, but I won't be doing it. Worth taking a -4 for Glasner to Moyes. I mean, Glasner doesn't have a fixture, so I would definitely take a -4. I wouldn't go Moyes, though, I don't think. Not bad, I suppose, but I'd probably just go Eddie Howe. Why no Strand Larson for Raul Jimenez? I think Raul Jimenez is better. People keep asking me if I'm confident about Sessegnon's minutes. I guess I'm confident enough to currently have him in my draft, but in 56 minutes and 20 seconds time, that might change. I might just play it ultra safe for minutes, but I think it looks okay. Wilson had been out for quite a while, yeah. But he did play 11 minutes last week, so he could start. Would you play Semedo over Palmer? No. Isn't Pereira on penalties ahead of Jimenez? No. Not anymore. On assistant manager, you go Thomas Frank for the upset. I don't mind Thomas Frank, yeah. He's away, though. You're captaining Munetzi. Ouch. Not sure. I'm not sure about that. I don't know how safe his minute. He has played 490 minutes in a row. But if Bellegarde comes on, will it be for Munetzi? Will it be for Cunha? Will it be for Strand Larson? Palmer won't do anything. Again, just don't put him in your team. Am I crazy for going Joe Linton? I don't know about crazy, but he wouldn't be top of my list to pick. Put it that way. Would you play Wilson if you had... Like, if I had Harry Wilson and I wasn't on free hit, would I play him? Probably. Could punt on... I've got no interest in an Everton player. I guess you'd have to go someone like Njai if you're going to go for one. I had Glasner from 31 to 33 and only got 15 points. Went for the risk and didn't have a transfer. Just had to send it. Yeah, ouch. Ouch. Eddie Howe and Arteta just absolutely smashed it. Still no Chris Wood. You must really hate. I've got no interest in Chris Wood this week, to be honest. And I'm still annoyed at myself for putting him on game week 29. Would you rather start Sarr to double up on Wolves defence or Leno for double Fulham? I think I'd rather go double Wolves, I guess. No, I wouldn't go Dubravka. Do you enjoy FPL as much as 10 years ago? Do you think it's more luck than skill now? I'm not getting into a luck and skill debate, honestly. Yes, I think I do enjoy FPL as much. There is part of me, like the nostalgia, kind of wishes I could go back to like just not really caring about like effective, not even knowing what effective ownership is, and just picking whoever because I didn't have to come and show my team every week and my rank to thousands of people who are going to shout at me, but I wouldn't change it. No way. I love doing this. Very, very lucky. How long will it last? I don't know, but if we get another... Basically, if I can get... I always think at the end of the season, if I can get one more season out of making FPL content, then that'll do me. So if I can get one more year, we're good. Preferably 2. On a -4 at the moment, would you take a -8 if you're not on free hit? Yes, if it's for a player that's good for the rest of the season. I know the answer, but need to hear it. Castagne's not going to play. No, I think it'll be Tete. Unfortunately. Top 3 punt for captaincy. I'm thinking Sessegnon, Wood, or Mbeumo. Why don't you rate Wood this game week? So, even if Chris Wood was playing this weekend, I prefer Cunha, Isak, and Raul Jimenez because they're playing relegated teams. So, that's the first thing. The second thing is, Nottingham Forest aren't playing until Thursday. Now, for some people, that actually makes Forest and Brentford players more attractive because once the weekend's done, they've still got a player to look forward to. But also, there's some risk there. Chris Wood will play an FA Cup semi-final against Man City. If he gets injured, you've then lost a player. Now, I will say this. I think the risk is very minimal because the chances are he doesn't get injured. And even if he does, on a free hit, you will have players on the bench. But the thing is, if I go for Chris Wood instead of Raul Jimenez, I can't put Raul Jimenez on the bench. So it would be someone like Semenyo or Mbeumo. So if Chris Wood gets injured, so I'd rather just have Raul Jimenez. That's it, really. Top 3 punts for captaincy. Palmer, Diaz, Cunha. Me. Isn't the 10-year anniversary of the first stream coming up this year? No, it's 2026. This year will be 9 years. Next year's 10. Love your FPL videos. I think I can get to 10 years, and then maybe people will hate me. That's fine. Love your FPL videos and streams. Do we know who will... Thanks, by the way. Do we know who will start from Newcastle's attack? Definitely Isak. I think Murphy will start, and then it's just between Barnes or Gordon. The likelihood is it'll be Barnes again, but there's no guarantee. Cunha, I wouldn't say is a guaranteed starter, but I do think he will start. Taking a -4 with 10 players playing, saving my free hit. Nice. Why aren't you playing Trent? I just got 3 other defenders I want to play instead, basically. You've inspired me with Menetzi, best differential. How did I do that? I've barely had him in a draft at all. Is there any point in Liverpool defenders on free hit? I mean, they've got a pretty good fixture. They're a very strong defence. They've got attacking potential in Van Dijk and Trent. So, yeah, you could definitely think about them. What goalkeeper would you get if going the Murphy route? I wouldn't necessarily change goalkeeper. I might change Trippier. But let's say you're going Murphy and Trippier, I'd probably get... I'd be tempted by Jose Sa, you know, instead of Leno. And just back against the Leicester attack. Like, Fulham are stronger than Wolves, but I guess Leicester are just as bad as Southampton. It's just because they're playing at home. I'm worried Salah has parked the car in the garage. I went garage. In the garage. Okay. That was my initial instinct for how to say it. In the garage. Title done, contract done, all-time record done, nothing else to strive for. Yeah, I don't think Salah's that kind of player. If you free hit, who would you change in your team? This is my free hit team. Yeah, Vardy will want a farewell party, but like the flip side is there's a reason Vardy's leaving, right? It's not like he's scoring 20 goals a season and he's decided to leave, right? There's a reason he's leaving. Love the guy, Premier League legend, no doubt about it. And this always happens. People quite like, I don't know. Leicester are just not very good. There's a reason they're getting relegated. Don't start now thinking, well, there's a few games to go. They're relegated, so now they're going to start playing without fear. Vardy's leaving. Leicester could score, but the chances are Wolves have got a good chance at a clean sheet. Going Palmer over Murphy, just about ownership. No, probably minutes and penalties, to be honest. Clive at Mbeumo, Diaz or Barnes with no free hit for a -4. Mbeumo, like by a mile. If Vardy's going to score any game, it's going to be this one. Sure. Then pick Jamie Vardy. It's funny how everyone's convinced Vardy's going to wipe the Wolves clean sheet, but nobody wants to pick Jamie Vardy. I was gonna do the make you think Leticia meme then. Makes you think. Everyone thinks Vardy's gonna score, but no one's picking him. Interesting. Wildcard with Forest defense. Choose 2. Visser, Wood, Cunha. Visser and Wood, I think. What's your full-time job? Talking nonsense into a webcam about FPL. Leicester actually looked not bad against us, Liverpool, next week. But wasn't part of the reason they didn't look bad Mavididi? Because Mavididi is now possibly out for the season. I think you should all captain Jamie Vardy. No chips left for me after this week. I'm chipless. 8 Nuri Semedo or Trippier Livramento double up. I'd go for the Newcastle double up. Do you feel like there's a lot of random players scoring a ton of points this year? No, not really. I mean, if you look at the top scoring play, like Trent, Van Dijk are the top defenders. Like Sales has obviously done really well, but he's not that far ahead of Pickford and Raya. Salah's the top scoring midfielder. In Burmo, 200 points is pretty nice, but then it's Palmer. He's at. I mean, Chris Wood's a bit of an outlier, I think. Like he ain't going to do the same next year, but no, I think it's been fairly standard. I should have put Jamie Vardy on the captaincy poll. Annoying. Am I worried about Cunha's minutes? If I was, he wouldn't be in my team. Then again, I've got Sessegnon. I'm a little bit worried about him. But Cunha, no. You don't like a Iwobi over Palmer? Not at all. Not at all. We are all chipless. Now, there's plenty of people that will still have chips next week. There'll be wildcarders in 35. People will have saved free hit triple captain for 36, 37. 37 for the free. 36 probably for free hit and triple captain. I like him Burmo generally. I think he's a solid pick. I won't be going for him on free hit, but if you're not on free hit, I would definitely have him. And if you're on free hit, you could also pick him if you want to. Why not? He's going to play. The minutes are good. He's had a big rest. Penalties. How different is this team to the hub recommended transfers? Mine is so different, and now I'm second guessing everything. I put that. I went through that on Thursday's team selection. If you want to check it out, it might have changed by now, but I suspect a lot of the players are quite similar. I wouldn't panic. There's a lot of good options this week, so if you want to go for slightly different players, you absolutely should. Why free hit with a 7 million bench defender instead of using the money somewhere else? Where do you need the money though? Where should I be using the money? Again, people keep asking about the bench. Like, why is it so strong? Where is the money needed? Could you consider Strand Larson as a standing out pick over Ryan Jimenez? Yes. Would you rather win the FPL Cup or come second in the FPL? Come second by a mile. I don't care about the FPL Cup at all. I put it this way, right? Nobody's going to be asking me next season where I came in the FPL Cup. People will be asking me what my rank was. Why not Robinson over Sessegnon for guaranteed minute? You could absolutely do that, yeah. You could do that. I just, there's part of me that just wants to take the punt on the guy playing right wing, basically. And just hope he starts again. But he might not. And if he doesn't, and Fulham keep a clean sheet, I'm going to look like an idiot. Am I considering Bruno over Palmer? No. Where am I in the FPL Cup? I got no idea. I'm out, I think. Out weeks ago. I don't want to be left fuming at 145 with assessing on benching, so I'm going Robinson. Yeah, that's what you should do. Yeah. Yes, I'm on free hit. Who's locked in for me? Basically, the front line, Palmer, Salah, Diaz, 8 Nuri. So 1, 2, 3, 7 players are locked. Nick Pope's pretty much locked as well, I think, because I don't see me going for a second Newcastle attacker, but I could do. So Sessegnon, Trippier, Kluivert are the 3 that I might change. Potentially, if I go for Barnes, Gordon, or Murphy instead of Kluivert, I could change Pope instead of Trippier. That's also an option. I don't know who I would go for, though. Have you seen what Nunez tweeted? Oh, Darwin Nunez. He's not tweeted anything. Ten of my free hit players played. That's what I was saying earlier. A lot of it will be decided today of how good this free hit's going to go. It's quite nice in terms of TV fixtures as well, because Chelsea's the first game, so straight away I've got Cole Palmer. And then in Ireland, the Newcastle Ipswich game's on TV, so I've got a triple up there. I'll obviously be tracking how Fulham and Wolves do. I'll be expecting... By the way, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to be watching Newcastle and there's going to be a score flash up and it's going to say Jamie Vardy 1-0. I fully get that he's going to score. Then tomorrow, Man United game, then the Liverpool game, and then wait till Thursday and I probably won't watch the Chris Wood show. I probably will. I probably will. Considering your point on ownership, what are your thoughts on Strand Larsen over Raul Jimenez? Yeah, I'm a little bit like conflicted with ownership. Like I think it is slightly important to think about if you're chasing, but you also do want points. I just think Raul Jimenez is a better option this week. Nunez deleted the tweet. Okay. Let's have a look. Okay, so he tweeted something which apparently is translated to "No wonder I didn't play more because the last game I started in the Premier League went well and suddenly ... I don't know what happened the last time he started. Well, I think Darwin Nunez will be. I don't think Darwin Nunez is starting this week. The last time he started was Southampton 3-1. Oh yeah. He scored. Didn't he score to make score the equaliser or something? Oh dear. Oh well. You are overestimating the number of people free hitting. There's a lot of people free hitting this week. But I might be overestimating it a bit, yeah. Won't deny that. How big are the chances Barnes starts? I think it's more likely than Gordon starting, at least. Half paying attention as looking after door. I only have 9 players and accidentally putting Burmo in for Enzo instead of a player not playing. Ouch. But you have made a good transfer in at least. Which game week should I use assistant manager? I think I would save it now and not use it this week and hope that we get double game week news next week for 36 and then decide then. So it depends what other chips you got to play. You could go 35, 37 or 36, 38. Basically, if you don't play it this week, that's your 2 options. 35, 37 or 36, 38. So just wait until next week to decide. Sessegnon or Ain't Nuri. Ain't Nuri is much safer. Clivert or Bowen, chasing rank. Clivert, I think. For Clivert owners, 20% chance of returns at home compared to 80% away. 4 out of 18 returns home. Is it an impactful stat to look for a replacement? Not for me. I'm not really that bothered about home and away stuff. Like, it can happen that sometimes players go through a season and score more away than home, but it's not really something that would influence my decisions. If you looked at the fixtures he's played in both of those and stuff like that, how many minutes he got, etc., etc. Like Southampton at home, for example, he was benched. So that's one of the good fixtures he's missed out on. Leicester home is worse than Southampton away. Strand Larsen over Raul Jimenez. No, I still prefer Strand Larsen I still prefer Jimenez for the penalties. But if you want to go Strand Larsen, go for it. Reminiscent of lockdown and your Bamford bench B. My what now? Bamford bench. Oh, boost. I've had some good bench boosters. This year's, this year's one was a bit frustrating because I got 11 points, which actually compared to a lot of like bench boosting 33 wasn't bad. It was so close to doing well again. I know I've always messed up triple captain, but I've always done okay on bench boost until this year. But I was so close. Like a 94th minute wipeout for the Forest clean sheet where Murillo just made a mistake. Evan Nielsen hit the bar. It could have been so much more. I don't regret where I played it. Am I actually benching Trent? Well, yeah, right now. I'm not going to play him over Sessegnon, Ain't Nuri, or Trippier, I don't think. You spoke quite a bit about differentials in your video. It seems you went pretty much template. What happened? But which other players are differential? I don't think I really spoke about too many other players than this, right? What other players did I speak about? I spoke about Welbeck, but then Raul Jimenez then became pretty much nailed. Clivert, I think Clivert is a differential for what it's worth compared to his transfers in. I also spoke about Palmer being a differential, Trippier being a differential over other players. I'm not really sure where else. Like Sessegnon's a risk for minutes. I don't think I really did speak about anyone else, right? I never said like I was going Strand Larsen captain or something like that. How many transfers? Like Sessegnon's only had 160,000 transfers in. Like Milenkovic has had more transfers in than Sessegnon this week. Jota an option. I don't think he's guaranteed to start. Neto, he's okay, yeah, but I think you just go for Palmer if you're going Chelsea. Manetzi, Rogers, or Gibbs White on wildcard. Well, if you need them to play this week, probably Gibbs White. I actually don't mind Rogers for next week. He might double. On free hit, Murphy, Barnes, or in Burmo. Murphy, probably. Szoboszlai instead of Diaz. The thing is, Szoboszlai's not even like a guaranteed minutes play anymore, so I'd rather just go for the more attacking Diaz. If you look at Szoboszlai's recent minutes, he's not been playing like 90 week in, week out. Jota is starting. Nunez just deleted a tweet about not starting. Yeah, but it could be Gakpo, right? And Diaz could play up front. Going Isak over Salah captain as I need to chase some points. Nice. Good luck. I mean, you could definitely argue that I also need to chase, and maybe I should do something like that, but I'm going to just stick with this and hope it's enough. We'll see. No free hit and 1 free transfer. Planning till 36. Money not an issue. Is Konate a better option than Trent? I wouldn't buy a Newcastle defender right now, but if I was, I would go Konate over Trent. Yeah. If you've got Bradley, you could just play him. I wouldn't want double Liverpool defence, I don't think. Who's most likely to start out of Murphy, Barnes, Gordon? I still think Murphy, to be honest with you. But like, here's what I would say. I think Murphy is more likely to start, but I think whoever starts left wing will get more minutes. I don't think I like free hits. You always feel like you're missing. I think free hits the best week of the season. It wasn't last year, but I think generally, like when it's a week like this, it's probably the best week of the season. What about Jackson as a punt over Palmer? No interest in that. Palmer's minutes are probably better. He's also on penalties. He also takes up a midfield spot, which is important. Jackson would take out one of the forwards. There's a lot of good forwards this week. So no interest in that. If you want to go Jackson as well, then sure. Why Sessegnon over Robinson? I just want to take the risk on the starter, basically, on the right winger, and just hope for the best. There's a risk that Sessegnon doesn't start. There's a risk that he doesn't make 60 minutes. Please do not buy him thinking he's a guaranteed starter. What have I missed news-wise this morning? Nothing. Oh, you're on triple Liverpool midfield. Didn't I say that to you? And you said... I said that to you. Oh, you said tempting, though. Fair enough. There's been no news this morning. No, nothing. Semedo's nailed, yeah. I quite like this. I still quite like this. Double Wolves, double Newcastle. Just go for 11 starters. I don't know. Although I'd much prefer to set it up like this. Now I'm just messing about. Now I'm just messing about. There we go. Why am I so sure Diaz starts? I just think he's the most likely starter that's not Salah. It's not necessarily that I think he's guaranteed to start. I just think he's the most likely. Triple captain to make up points, no free hit. I would probably save my triple captain till game week 36 now. Worst case scenario, there's no doubles and someone like Marmoush plays Southampton. Do you think it's worth going with Murphy or someone around the same price point to fund a move for Palmer? I'm on wildcard. I don't necessarily know if I would go Murphy on wildcard, but he's not a terrible pick. And I quite like Palmer, yeah. Quite like Palmer. Maybe Murphy's fine this week, but after that it gets a little bit tricky. But he's at a price point you could bench him, I guess. I think people need to just stop worrying about the fact that Trent is on the bench and he's so much money. That could just be a different defender. Basically, it's a defender I'm not playing this week. What's your one transfer that you would keep the rest of the season? I guess in Burmo. Well, yeah, because Salah's maybe a bit dodgy in that. Probably Salah, but otherwise in Burmo. Isak's fixtures get a bit trickier. Why haven't people played their triple captain yet? Lots of great opportunities to play. I know they could have had Marmoush's 4 points. They could have had Haaland's 6 points in game week 9. Idiots. What was my score in game week 29 last season? Like 13 points or something? 41 points ahead in my league. Playing it safe. Murphy or Kluivert? Murphy, Trent or Cucurella? I mean, for minutes, Cucurella, right? If you're playing it safe, you go for the guy that's definitely starting. I think it's very unlikely Palmer's rested for Europe. Chelsea need Champions League. What about Menez? He's injured. Is it more disappointing seeing points on the bench with a free hit? Not really. It is what it is, you know. I mean, it's going to be annoying this week because there's a few defenders that like I kind of I'm like really tempted by, but I should put Harry Maguire on my bench, really. I'm pretty sure about Kluivert's minutes, yes. Murphy is out of Norwich's academy. Ipswich is right. Yeah, I don't think it makes any difference to what he's going to do today, to be honest with you. Someone else did point that out to me. Bellegarde's only just back. I mean, he wasn't out for that long, but I wouldn't go there. I'd go Minet. If you really want to punt a Wolves midfielder, go for Minetzi. There's still part... I don't know. How many risks do I go for? As I said in yesterday's video, there's different types of risks. So Sessegnon is a minutes risk. But I could go like a Minetzi or Mitoma over Kluivert, so you know they're going to start, but then it's a risk about how well they'll do. So I could keep Sessegnon and go for like Minetzi and just get rid of Semedo. Or just go for like a Mitoma instead of Kluivert. Just, I don't know, just to feel something. Neto and Strand Larsen as a gamble over Palmer and Cunha. I think I prefer Strand Larsen over Cunha than Neto over Palmer, to be honest with you. Yeah, Bowen's a good option for the rest of the season. I was so happy with my team, but you have the same team, so I'm worried. Wow, that cuts deep. That cuts deep. I need someone to tell me. I need someone to send me the Newcastle team. I just want to put Barnes in. Or Gordon. Honestly, I feel like Gordon's potentially like the key differential this week. If he starts, nobody owns him. Absolutely nobody owns him. I don't even know who I'd go for. Robinson, I guess. Oh no, probably Cucurella. I'm 0.2 million over. I can't afford this team. Nightmare. Trent has to go. I can't go Anthony Gordon. What if Gordon starts a massive differential? The final Vardy party. But you think he would have considered having a party at some stage earlier this season, right? Why would he save the party until they get relegated, you know? You've got Gordon, surely not. No, I'm not going Bruno Fernandes. Double Fulham ain't risky. They are not that good. They're playing Southampton, though. It's too late now. It's cuts deep. You're saying my team's bad. I get it. Start Bowen or Elanga. Bowen probably. Gakpo or Welbeck. Southampton always find a way to score. Yeah. Sure. That's why they've scored the least amount of goals this season out of all teams in the league. They've scored less than 1 goal per game. Always find a way. You could argue they're looking better now. Fair enough, but I think they're getting relegated in last place with 11 points, probably because they've not always found a way to score. Imagine the upside on Barnes or Gordon, though. I know. I am thinking about it. I'd love that. I can just keep Trippier or get rid of him. Go for Aitner, Sessegnon, Semedo, Pope in goal, or Sanchez, whatever. If you wildcarded this week, would Trent have been in it? No. No interest in sales, to be honest. And Burma's going to score. But I'm not going to Burma. I really do think people just overthink stuff. Like, the one thing to think about is what's most likely to happen, not what you think could happen. Like, when you start when you start like thinking, oh, Southampton always find a way to score, but they're sat there with 24 goals for the season, about to get relegated on like 11 points. You're probably overthinking it a bit, you know? Could they score? Of course they could. Of course they could. I wish I knew Gordon was starting. Me too. 48 months. Thank you very much. 4 years. Mental. Do I think Chelsea will score? I hope so. I hope Cole Palmer scores, yeah. Don't have actual stats, but to the Southampton scoring point, they rarely get more than 1, so number of goals isn't important, rather of number of games scored in. I'm guessing they haven't scored in many games if they've only got 24 goals. What are we even doing? Southampton are terrible. Like, there's nothing more to it. If you don't want to go for Raul Jimenez or Sessegnon or Robinson or Leno, don't buy them. Like, it's fine, but let's not pretend that Southampton are this great team all of a sudden. Surely Gordon gets back in, arguably the best left wing in the league. Oof. Trying to think of left wingers right now. Arsenal Martinelli, Liverpool Diaz. He's probably up there, isn't he? There's probably someone I'm missing. Doku City, Grealish City, Man United. Not really playing with a left winger as such right now. There's definitely a left winger. There's definitely a great left winger I'm not thinking about right now. I don't think you probably haven't got Son up there anymore. You can't say Garnacho is the best left winger. Rashford. I mean, Rashford getting picked ahead of Gordon for England, potentially. Ryan Giggs doesn't play anymore. Don't know if you've noticed. Or Matoma, nice shout. Anyway. Eze, yeah. Eze's not really a winger, I would say, per se. That being said, could play left wing for England. I think he's more of like a left forward, right? A little bit different. I think he can play as a winger. Mavididi. Anyway, will Gordon come back in? Possibly. I kind of want to go there, but it just feels like I don't think I can do it. Someone send me the Newcastle team. I've also shut my DMs off on Twitter, so that ain't gonna happen. Why not Saar with sales back to save prime places? I don't know what that means, but Jose Sarr's fine and so sells. Thoughts on Iwobi over Kluivert? To target Southampton, I don't mind it, but Kluivert's on penalties, and his minutes are arguably better as well. Maybe not, but it's close. Need to transfer out Sarr and Mateta, picking Visser, I have 7.5 for a mid, or do I pick in Burma, I have 5.9 for a forward? But you can't get like Evan Nielsen, can you? How much is Evan Nielsen? Evan Nielsen is 5.8. Okay, so my gut feeling is that in Burma and Evan Nielsen is better than Visser and a 7.5 forward. I think. You could go Visser and Bowen maybe, but I think I prefer in Burma and Evan Nielsen. Thoughts on... Oh, I did that one. What's wrong with Dan Burn? Nothing. My starting 11, Leno, Trent, Semedo, 8 Nuri, Salah, Trent, and Semedo and 8 Nuri. I like it. Diaz, Barnes, Murphy, Cunha, Jimenez, Isak. Nice. Triple Newcastle. Why start Sessegnon over Trent? Just playing right wing. I actually think Trent's more likely to start than Sessegnon, weirdly. Pick 2 of Raul Jimenez, Cunha, Welbeck. Answers on your screen. If you're chasing, go for Welbeck over Cunha. If you're really chasing. Why do I have Trent on the back? Because I just think there's 3 other defenders I want to play instead. Wood instead of Visser on wildcard. Yeah, I don't hate that. Yeah. I like it. Van Dijk or Trent? I would go Van Dijk for safety and minutes. Trent, if you want to take a bit of a gamble. How risky is doubling up on Newcastle defence versus Murphy's ownership? I guess if you're thinking of it that way, a little bit. But Newcastle defenders are also just very good this season. Okay, we've got less than 20 minutes. Okay, so let's not... I'm not going to start thinking about my forward line. That's locked in. Palmer, Salah, Diaz also locked in. Do I actually want to risk Sessegnon? I still like this, honestly. I still quite like this. Semedo and 8 Nuri. Sessegnon's the one where if he does really well, like if he starts right wing, he makes it to 60 minutes, he gets the clean sheet, he goes and gets an attack and return as well. I'm going to look at it and think, why did I not go for that on free hit? Like, he's the perfect free hit player. In my opinion, no one should be buying Sessegnon, probably, who's not on free hit. It's the only time I'm ever going to get to buy him. By the way, if I do this, I will probably change Sessegnon and Trent to just more nailed on players, which is weird. Like it's a weird. Like I might put Sessegnon in the 11, but if they're going to be on my bench, I'm definitely going to go for like nailed players, which doesn't make any sense. But yeah, it just feels like too good to turn down almost. Am I happy with my rank? No, not really. Not really. I want to push it a bit, but I also think I'm going to do. I'm hopefully going to do quite well without having to like risk it massively. I don't know. I just don't know. Reece James, I got no interest in Reece James. Cucurella, I think, is a really good option, by the way. Thoughts on Neto as a punt? I just wouldn't be that interested compared to all the other midfielders you've got as an option. Like, he's a good option for sure. But he should start. But there's lots of other midfielders I prefer. Leno or Sarr. I did have Leno like pretty much all week, but I actually just quite like Wolves. I think Leno's just a bit safer. Like, Sarr will probably start, but Leno definitely will. So I guess I'll say Leno. Kluivert or Mbeumo, Kluivert. I took a risk and went Gordon over Murphy on wildcard. Ouch. I'm on free hit and gone Gordon again. Ouch. Could work. Do you think Jimenez is a valid wildcard pick? I probably wouldn't go there. I'd go like Marmouche and then like 2 of like this Cunha, Wood, etc. I think. Assistant manager glances to Frank versus Potter. Want to play risky. Go Frank, I think. I mean, hang on. Is Graham Potter against Brighton? So Thomas Frank is against Forest. Oof, that's close. Thomas Frank, Forest. I think I would go Frank. There's not really a massive reason for why I'm thinking that way. That's just my gut feeling. Allison in that, yeah, is good. Absolutely. You're right. No Murphy or Barnes. I want to be there. I really want to go for it. This would be the team, right? There's too many players to change now. I'm at risk of just messing this up for the deadline. We've still got 50 minutes. I also need to pee. Thing is, if I go Barnes and Gordon starts, it's just going to kill me. It's just I will hate it. And I'll probably go Cucurella. Cucurella. I don't start singing that song. Freaking I hate that song. Something like this. I mean, if I wanted to play it again safer for minutes, I could go for Leno and Trippier. This is what I want to do. This is the team that I want to go for. Something very similar to this with Barnes and Sessegnon. Just take the risks. But I'm telling you now, it'll be super frustrating if they don't start. I'm going to be at 1:45. I'm going to be spamming the Newcastle Twitter account to see who starts. A weird Nunez tweet. Yeah, he tweeted something about why he hasn't been starting, then deleted it. Basically, if you search for Nunez on Twitter, you'll find it really quickly. Which combo is better, Evan Nilsson and Pope and Kluivert and Mbeumo, or Jimenez and Leno and Kluivert and Murphy? Probably the latter. Would you start Iwobi or Wood? Wood, probably. Leno, Sessegnon, Trippier, Aitnery, Barnes, Palmer, Kluivert, Salah, Diddler. After watching Ipswich last week, you just have to captain Isak. Fair enough. Top 3 goalkeepers in order. Pope's Leno, Sarr, maybe. I also quite like Sanchez. That's why he's on the bench. Just play Murphy. Yeah, that's the thing. I could just go Murphy for the start, but that feels so boring, honestly. Oh no, I don't think it means he's playing. He deleted the tweet. I think it means he's absolutely frustrated with the situation right now. People dismissing Raul Jimenez, but at the same time going for a Vardy pie. No one's actually buying Vardy. People just keep saying he's going to score, but they're not actually buying him. Semedo over Sessegnon is so incredibly boring, but you're welcome to do something more exciting. Also, if you look at the screen, I've got both. Barnes and Gordon. I don't think I will go both, because I think only one will start. Talk me out of Isak captain. I like it, to be honest, if you're chasing. Bench Palmer to triple up on Newcastle attack. I probably wouldn't do that, but sure. Like you said, a boring pick means it's good. I know, but sometimes you could just risk it a little bit more. Maybe I'll just put Murphy in there instead of Barnes. I hate that pick. I really do. Not seen 3 projected goals from Rob T in a while. I know, like Newcastle scoring loads. I get it. Murphy scored 14 points away to Leicester. I know I owned him. I owned him, then I sold him last week. Are people underrating Gordon? Yeah, look, we don't know if Gordon's going to start or not. That's the problem. Most predictors think that Barnes will start, but that's obviously because he's done so well. Yeah, I do get that Barnes is still good off the bench, but if he doesn't start, I'm going to be miserable. I won't lie. Like, not miserable is probably a bit strong, but I'll be frustrated. If I pick a player that doesn't start, it's going to be annoying. And in Sessegnon and Barnes, there's 2 risks there. Guys, everyone keeps asking why I'm benching Trent. Like, it should be fairly straightforward why I'm benching Trent, right? Because I don't think he's as good as the other options. Or because I don't want to risk his minutes. If I thought he was better than my other 3 defenders, I would put him in. The closer the deadline, the faster you talk, you're running out of your second glass of water. No, I got loads left. It's fine, it's fine. In Burma or Salah for captaincy, I mean, definitely Salah. If Trent starts, would he be better than the Fulham defenders? Probably. Here's the stupid thing, though. I actually think Trent's more likely to start than Sessegnon. But Sessegnon's playing right wing against Southampton. I don't think I can turn that down on free hit. I'm just going to have to accept that it could go wrong. Doon 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 doon. Trent is effectively right. Well, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. By the way, I think Trent's a good pick. I don't know what more you want me to say, but I don't know if I'm willing to risk all. Am I willing to completely risk everything? I mean, risk everything. Like Barnes, Trent, and Sessegnon are all risks for minutes. If they all don't start, a season over, basically. Jackson viable, yes, but I think there's much better forwards this week. I would chill on the super chats now. I'm going to be looking a lot at my team and probably panicking a bit. Iwobi and Sarr, or Minetzi and Leno. Probably Iwobi and Sarr. In Burmo, Strand Larson, Iwobi to start. Strand Larson. In Burmo, Salah. How's the couch to 5k going? Good. I did 5k like weeks ago, and I've been doing like 3 a week since then. It's going good. I'm debating a free hit midfield of Salah, Murphy, and Burmo. Iwobi, 2 punty. I think that's kind of your play style, so I quite like it. I prefer backing against him. Like, I don't think in Burma is punty, by the way. I think his ownership's going to be really high. Trippier, Livramento, and Iwobi, or Trippier, Sessegnon, and Barnes. The first one is more likely for minutes. The second one, I think, is better if they all start. Robinson or Van Dijk. It's such a toss-up. I guess Robinson, just because he's playing Southampton. But you could absolutely make a case for Van Dijk. I think he's also very good this week. Murphy up against Ipswich, second choice left back. I think it's their third. I think it's Greaves that's going to play there. How did Trent suddenly get in the 11? I'm just playing around. I told you this would happen last 10 minutes. Doon, doon, doodle, doon, 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 doodle, doon. I think if Trent says I can't. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can take that many. I don't think I want to take that many risks. I think Trent will start though. I really do. I was so bullish on Trent's minutes on his start earlier on in the week. Oh, Darwin Nunez is tweeting again now. Just says morning. He's probably been told to tweet something else. Best captain for chasing mini league. Isak probably. I may have missed it, but why is Sessegnon a risk? Harry Wilson's back now, and he plays right wing. I don't see Ryan Sessegnon playing somewhere else. Maybe Jacob Murphy's the one, honestly. Maybe I'm just like trying too hard to back against him. He's just going to be so highly owned. Barnes, do you have leaks? I got no leaks whatsoever. I wish I did. It made my life so much easier because Gordon could start. Like, Murphy is the safest pick, I think. Yeah, I do you know, I really want to be there on the Gordon punt. I really do. Play 2 of Manetzi, Iwobi, Welbeck, Gordon, and Matoma. Gordon and Matoma, probably. Risk Gordon and Murphy on wildcard. No, I wouldn't pick either on wildcard, I don't think. Murphy and Clovert sounds better to me. I'm pretty confident Palmer will start. Yeah, 55 points clear at the top of my mini league. I've got Sessegnon, Barnes, and Cunha. Is that too many risks? No. Well, no. You ain't going to lose a 55-point lead, I don't think. So you're probably fine. Is it crazy that I'm benching Palmer for OIB? I guess not. Start one of Palmer or Diaz. Palmer. Yeah, so I've said this a lot of times. I think Murphy is the safest for starts, but I think whoever starts left wing will get more minutes. Murphy has been subbed quite a bit recently for whoever's been benched, mostly Gordon, obviously, because he's just back from injury. Sessegnon and Robinson on wildcard. I think you've got to go for the safer pick. Oh, yes. Maybe that's what Nunez was referring to. So basically, he was kind of saying, I started against Southampton, did well. I wonder why I haven't started since. And maybe he's referring to that clause that apparently is going around. I don't understand why Gordon would start. Well, he's been Newcastle's first choice left winger for quite a while. New member, thank you very much. I think I'm going to go Barnes. I think I'm going to go double Wolves defense. Do I go Trippier and Sarr? Trippier and Sarr? Instead of Pope and Semedo. I'm kind of a little bit fixated on Semedo. I don't know why. I probably shouldn't be. Do I go Trippier and Jose Sarr, or do I just go for a different keeper altogether? I'm not going Livramento or Burn. I want to back against their ownership. I'm really not bothered by the Jamie Vardy shouts. Like, it's absolute nonsense. None of you would be picking Jamie Vardy this week for good reason. I mean, Trent over Semedo, yeah, if you think Trent starts, which I do. I don't know if I'm willing to risk him and Sessegnon. I only want to go for one of Trent or Sessegnon, I think. Again, I think Trent will start. Yeah, I've been saying that all week. But why does everyone seem to think that Murphy is nailed? He's been getting subbed off for Gordon. Yeah, but he's started like every match for a long time now. And I think if you're looking at balance, then, you know, he starts on that right side. I think I'm going to risk Barnes. The thing is, I don't actually think Barnes' ownership is that low. That's the problem. 4 minutes to decide. Barnes had a lot of... Barnes is like the second most transfer player in this week. He's hardly a differential. Why would you not start... Yeah, again, I've been through this so many times. I'm not going to keep answering that question. Leicester definitely scoring against Wolves, by the way. Then don't buy Leicester defenders. Get rid of Aït-Nouri if you've got him. Even if Sessegnon gets sub pre-60, he might have an attacking return. Yeah, but you want him to make the 60-minute mark. We shouldn't pretend like clean sheets are the bread and butter. Strand Larson or Raul Jimenez? Raul Jimenez. Bowen or Barnes? I'm going to go Barnes, I think. I should just go for Murphy. It's the most logical thing to do. I think Trippier is better than Semedo as well. I think... Oh my god. I just don't... I should probably go Jose Sarr and Trippier over Pope and Semedo. I don't get the, if you're going for Barnes, why not go for Gordon? I don't get that. Because If you think Barnes is going to start, then surely that means Gordon's not going to, right? I could just not go for double walls. I could just not go for double walls defense. That would also be probably quite a good option. Like, what if Jose Sa doesn't start? That'd be a nightmare. Liverpool, Wolves, Chelsea. I'm still backing the Newcastle clean sheet with Trippier, with Pope, I guess. There's something about Jose Sa, I don't know. I'm going to leave it. Oh, no, I should go for Trippier. I'm going to go for Trippier. I'm going to be watching the game later. I'm going to mess this up now with a minute and a half to go. The thing is, if Jose Sa doesn't start, if Semedo scores, I'll cry. I will cry, like literally. I'll post a video of me crying. I don't know why. I just kind of want to back double walls defense because no one else is doing it. Okay. God, I hope Barnes starts. Yeah, I'm going to be watching the Newcastle game. I do kind of want Gordon, but I just don't know if he's going to start. Please convince me why. Oh, if Gordon starts, I will cry. I'm already thinking about it now. The time's 11 o'clock nearly. 1:45. I'm going to be absolutely glued to the Newcastle thing. How have I ended up on Jose Sa and Aït-Nouri? Sanchez is my bench keeper, by the way. Do I like that? Should I have gone for Leno? I probably should have gone for Leno. I basically said in the video it's Pope or Leno, and I've ended up on Jose Sa and Sanchez. I'm leaving it. Come on, Harvey. Oh, Semedo. Is Shaw starting? I don't know. Luke Shaw. How have you come in at the last minute with a question about Luke Shaw? He probably will, but I don't know. We're locked in. Fingers crossed. I need this to go big. I need it to go big. The thing is, look, I do appreciate all the Harvey Barnes will definitely start. He's been playing well, etc. But I don't think it necessarily matters. I really don't. There's plenty of times he's done all right and then been benched. Right, Gordon is usually first choice left wing. Do you ever do watch-alongs? I've done some. I did think, by the way, that 3 p.m. games today would be quite good for watch-alongs. You've got triple Newcastle for a lot of people. Raul Jimenez, Sessegnon, Semedo, etc. Oh, God, I didn't even think about that. Imagine Jose Sa doesn't start and Maresca puts Jorgensen out. I didn't even think about that. I should have gone for Leno on the bench. Oh, my God. I need the lineups for the afternoon. Oh God, imagine that start. Imagine that happens. Why did you have to put that into my mind? I'm pretty sure Sanchez will start, yeah. Okay. Game week 34. Oh, yeah, I need to do the sleeper draw. I've got it set up. Don't panic. Okay, let me just put this tweet up. Bada-bum, bada-bada-bada-bum. I screwed up in a hurry. I Captain Diaz. It might work out. Bowen in capital letters. Never been more nervous about lineups. Oh my god, me too. A Pope penalty save. Honestly, do you know what's crossed my mind? Not a Pope penalty save. What about a Jose Sarr penalty save against Jamie Vardy? Oh my god, that would be so good. That'd be so good. Will I watch the snooker today? No, don't think so. What is it? What snooker competition is on? Is it Crucible? Let me just get the... So I'm going to do the sleeper draw for Game Week 33. If you haven't already got your pick submitted for Game Week 34, you can still do it. There have been a couple of games already played, but whatever. Okay, so if I just... So these are all the people that got 8 predictions correct in Game Week 33. £50 Amazon voucher coming for... Some rumours saying Gordon Stark, get out of here. Don't tell me that now. Stranger22, £50 Amazon voucher. I'm gonna send you a message on the Sleeper app after this, asking for your email address. Just shoot that over to me, and I'll get the voucher to you within like probably 2 to 3 weeks. Sometimes I'm a bit slow, but there you go. Stranger22, you have won. Congratulations. Ben Crellin has Barnes in his free hit. Oh god. Me and Ben have quite a similar... I mean, all the teams are going to be similar this week, right? He's just got Leno and Kukureya. Fair enough. How did I end up on Jose Sarr? I'm actually going to send this message now while I remember, to be honest. Stranger22. Wait, is that the right person? Oh, I need to double check that now. Let me check the table. There is a reason to potentially bench Barnes, and that is that Anthony Gordon exists. If you want to be with a chance of winning the voucher, then just join the Let's Talk FPL League over on Sleeper. There's a link in the description below, basically. And make your predictions for Game Week 34. Bit surprised about people going for Salah over Isak when Newcastle are playing Ipswich. But it's Salah, right? I'm not going to be doing a watch along today, by the way. It's a nice idea, but I don't have the setup for it or anything like that. Oh yeah, that is the right person. Stranger22. Congratulations, you won the Game Week 33. Just need your email for the voucher. Sent. Wait, did it send? Oh my god, I don't know if it sent. It didn't send. I pressed the wrong button. Do it with no setup. Yeah, I probably won't, to be honest, but it would be cool. Competition for Game Week 33. Ah, I've put 22 now. Christ. Congratulations. Just need your email for... Oh my god, I can't type. For the voucher. Oh my god. I've put touched for the touched. Right, send. Salah had his annual dip of form, unfortunately. No doubt he'll be getting hat-tricks again next season. I mean, Isak's only got 2 goals in 6 games. How loves Anthony Gordon? Look, there's obviously some risk that Anthony Gordon could start. Of course, I kind of accept that. I've taken a couple of risks. Let's hope it works. Please don't tell me. Don't say things like if Semedo scores. Right, I'm going to shoot off. Enjoy your weekends. There's rumours that Palmer's not starting. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Please don't tell me that. Please don't tell me that. If Palmer's benched, I'm not even watching the first game. Surely Palmer's. They need what's it called? Champions League. Right, I'm going. Before you put too many more doubts in my mind. Thank you very much for watching. I will catch you again probably tomorrow. Make sure to give the stream a like, hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed it, and yeah, enjoy your weekend. See you soon.